Hello all. Hello hunters. Sique here with Caramel Sugarevil, and I am making very good work on making very good time on the devotional. You're going to be seeing the art from not only the path to punishable, but the stats for you'll get illustrated and essentialism TPTU cards. They'll be updated with the playing card codes on it, and then you will receive a playbook spotlight. It's stabby playable, and a hunter's office oracle, and the slimes, just as transparent slimes, both in the essentialism form. That means just text. All in that book. And I'm working on the cards too, and it's coming along beautifully. And I'm looking over at the screen where I literally have it open, and I'll be dropping some pictures and stuff of the pages as I go along, because I'm at the formatting stage now. Everything is written. I'm just putting it all into Affinity Publisher and putting it together to send it to the printer now. That's where we are at it. And while I'm doing this, I'm also taking the time to clean through the loft up here to get everything situated. And I ran into this. It's a lanyard from, as you can see, the Forbidden Forest experience. My daughter and I went to it last year, and I had a blast. I think I have a mug that we bought butterbeer in. And I have she bought me a Ravenclaw scarf because I'm a Ravenclaw. And it was at that same one that I got this wand. It's Ron's wand. And I got it for the form factor. And I've since removed everything that was associated from it before and associated with the things that I am doing now. But transphobia is a sin. And that includes Harry Potter. Because the good time I had, funded that upskirt shot she did of that woman over there in England. We paid for that. And it makes me sick. And I'm not going to say that I didn't know, because I absolutely did. I saw it way when J.K. Rowling's mystery series, which she wrote under a male pseudonym, which is common. It absolutely is common, and a working method, right? It's a winning technique. But someone with her views should keep it 100, and she didn't, and we'll leave it there. And it failed. And I read a couple of books, and what you know, the bad guy is a man dressed up as a woman. That series is now the series Strike, and it's in its 7th season. I didn't even know about it until COVID, when they were playing a couple of them. Bill had watched a couple of them, sitting down like, why do I know this? And I realized, the gal who wrote Harry Potter wrote these. And that's the point. The Strike series makes her decent money. Any writer would love that kind of money. But it isn't Harry Potter money. This made her a billionaire. but she's still, I believe that TERFs actually just, they hate women. I really do believe they do. And they want to be able to take it out on somebody who they feel to be inferior. And to them, there is nothing more inferior than a man who has all the power to become a woman. They think there's something has to be wrong with you to want to be a woman, which is absurd to me. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a woman. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be pretty. There's nothing wrong with that. But I knew that back then. And yes, she was pro-gay, I think, but still transphobia, we have to say it in its own category because they try to pull it out into its own category to make it this boogeyman that is ever present, yet not really all that present, but something they can easily shape and twist and distort into the boogeyman of their choice. It's the boogeyman with no true accountability for no really need for responsibility. Just like there was a quote about the unborn being a convenient target for the for conservative Christians. It's a convenient, I forget the word, but it's very convenient because you can talk about the unborn in various different ways without actually having to connect or be responsible for anything living. Because once the child becomes born, then it's a brown baby, or it's went to a single mother, or it's just a child, or a sexual target. It doesn't, it isn't the unborn anymore. And so, in the same way, trans folks are this transparent, there's this toy that they bring out, or this, I keep on, when I'm visualizing this, I'm visualizing putty. They go and they mold into the monster they're making. Rawr. And just, that's not true. And knowing that when she started this up the first time, she thought her money and the fact that she had she had made a lot of folks rich, a lot of folks famous, thought that they would fall in line with her, and they were like, no. So that's one of the reasons why she hasn't added all that much she hasn't written anything new, truly, in the Harry Potter world. Has not expanded it out. It's kept it just as it is. With she allows for a few expansions, but always in the same area. She hasn't expanded it out anymore. And then she wants to push for this reboot that will pay her nearly $20 million a year. And a lot of these folks know that it'll be working about 10, 15 years. That's a lot of money. And she's already told you that she's going to spend that money being transphobic. I want to cry. I'm angry. I am grieving this actively because I can't, and I won't. So much so that I have to make it part of the canon of my universe because it's so important to me that, yeah, transphobia includes Harry Potter because it is the tool she is using and a lot of right-leaning folks are using in order to pull money into her pocket so she can continue to hurt folks. Just like MAGA. Oh, let me back up. And we are willing to do it because we have such emotional bonds to it. It is part of our identity. And we're trying to reclaim or pull from the innocence of it. Although it isn't innocent anymore. It is a tool used to hurt. To actively hurt. Actively kill. And to that, I say it's a lot like MAGA. Because MAGA, the reason why they sit up there and voted for Trump is so they can be cruel without consequence. To the point where they're talking about the sin of empathy, right? And like I said, anybody who talks about the sin of empathy wants to be able to abuse you, wants to be able to hurt you without consequence. They want to sit up there and hurt you any kind of way and still be seen as a good person. They're talking about, well, we're not anti-empathy, but we need empathy with boundaries. You mean I don't want to be seen as a bad person for doing these things. That's a boundary for me. And I'm going to call it bad so you'll feel bad. No. You were evil. You were an awful person. Let's just say it. And you have to be good with being an awful person. You have to be able to take accountability for the fact that I want to be racist, I want to be awful, and I want to be backed by my president. And so I'm going to vote for this man, and I'm going to continue giving him all my money, information, and my time, because the more I do that, and the more I buy into this identity, the more I feel like I can get something that I've lost, which is the days when white supremacy and being racist didn't have a consequence. Those days are long gone. They are getting greater consequences. And then going back to Harry Potter, we know she's not going to stop. This isn't like C.S. Lewis or Tolkien, who, even though during their lifetime they did make changes, right? Even if they did believe what she believed, they are dead. And the people who are handling the estate now are not playing that way, right? At least if they are, they're keeping it very quiet because they understand, right? J.K. Rowling thought she was bigger than the program. And in some ways, within her program, she is correct. Which is the reason why the reboot is so important to her, so she can build on that popularity with a new generation. And a generation that is fine with her being transphobic. Because say what you want, especially John Lithgow, these actors, these adult actors who'll say, oh no, transphobia is wrong and everything, they understand that they're passing up a paycheck. And that's more important. And that's what she's counting on. John Lithgow, first film I ever saw him in was The World According to Garp with Robin Williams. Number one, that tells you how old I am. Number two, tells you my mom walked me into a lot of R-rated films, and she did. That's the reason why I'm a science fiction nut too. Yep, it's just, yes, Gen X was a wild time. And he has had a lot of conversations about his experiences. And now also, this is also pre-AIDS. And so I thought he would be a bit more sensitive to the whole matter. He looked at it and he literally said before he walked back, this is a paycheck I'm not passing up. He made it clear he wasn't passing up this paycheck. And then there is Nicholas Gloot, the guy who literally made his literally made his career on the backs of the LGBTQ community. I mean, seriously. He said that they got a little bit of that Superman money. Now he thinks he's above the program too. No, a lot of people sit up there and thought you were with them, and you were just like, no, I'm going to take this paycheck because it's big. It also shows you the buying power, how much power this really has, especially in the UK. Because remember, we're feeling it like this in the US. It's their birthplace. And also, it is a source of income for a lot of people in the UK. And we forget about all the folks who do fan-based stuff, which is one of the best parts of it, truly. All these people lose income. And she's aware of that. The same way we are asking folks to walk away from MAGA, we must ask ourselves to walk away. As hunters, I am asking you to walk away from it because it is a sin. I'm like, you could do it if you want, but you'll understand that how we will look at it and what that says about you and what your priorities are. And we'll make our choices accordingly. This is not to punish. This is because if we are to truly be the shield for the joyous, we cannot let nostalgia be more important than the people who are with us right now. It feels good, but there have been things before and after it that have made you feel good. It's time to find something new, with the hope that with her death and some time, we can bring it back to what it once was. And for those who think it's too big, remember that she's going in without protection. And you're starting to see the inklings now as it swings back in our direction. Don't worry, she will be addressed. But that's not our lane. Our lane is not funding her. Talk to you soon.